always feels strange when you end up doing something you've been thinking of for a long time. You imagine how inspired you'll be and the fulfillment sparkling inside you. But reality has other plans. Here I am, somewhat inspired, yeah. But with the awkward feeling you get when you first enter an uncomfortable or unfamiliar place. And you can already sense the loneliness, the self-doubt, the shame, regret, and a creeping headache that came unwelcomed. It's starting to rain. I'm in the French Pyrenees, in the Occitan region, specifically the Ariège department. It's the first time I've been in this area, a bit by chance, as I was looking to spend a few days in a cabin as isolated as I could find. So, why a cabin? I've always felt attracted to the idea of isolation. There's something very romantic about getting lost, alone, in a remote area. The man and the world, all the imagery we had been fed, all the introspections, the mad genius, the misunderstood, the damage beyond repair who can only find peace in solitude. We see it in all the fine arts, in literature, paintings, in movies, and now on our phones. And it's all about modern tech, the overwhelming, insatiable hunger in which they devour us. Relentlessly, they creep on every aspect of life, exchanging convenience for numbness. And we almost all agree on this. Yet, we find us dragged on by the inertia and social conventions. And how terribly hypocritical it would be to portray yourself as the enlightened, the pure, the uncorrupted person who won't follow the lead. How short-sighted it would be to not acknowledge the privilege, the comfort, the collective effort which brought humanity to worry about the amount of time they spend using or not a device. So here we are, between a rock and a hard place, while being in a cushioned environment. Alone. Together. I'm a photographer, so my way of spending time with myself and my craft is by having photographic walks, either in nature or in the city. This is one of the hikes that I had. I found a short route that finished at an old watermill. Past generations of my family used to be millers, so I always felt interested in places like that. There's also a charm and a special energy of a place surrounded by water. The walk was very enjoyable. It was still autumn. There were beautiful colors all around, and I was lucky enough to catch a sunny day. The air was fresh and pleasant. The ground, carpeted with multicolored leaves, carefully placed with seemingly an intention. The ferns, quietly showing off the beauty, trying to be forgotten, and taking the spotlight at the same time. There were already reminders and remarks of the importance of water of this location. Rills flowing from the slopes, the river, down low at the bed of the hill, and the road, serpently traversing, sliding between the flow. I stopped at the bridge on the river. Blue tones reflected on the water, and unfortunately a bit too early for the sun to shine through. But I need to move on. I'm not exactly sure how long it will take me to get to my destination, nor how long the walk back will be. Two Frenchmen bonjour me as I out of breath try to creep back. This will be the last people I'll see for hours. And the uphill begins. It's always unexpectedly hard with the bag and camera equipment to go on hikes you would usually not think twice of. After a while, I started wondering why I was climbing so much. If there's a meal, it should be at the bottom. I started to think I got lost, but I had my phone giving me directions. Sometimes it gives you a longer route for vehicles, I said to myself. It didn't bother me that much. It was still early, and I wanted to have a long walk. I started to see some signs, which didn't make a lot of sense. The directions would sometimes be confusing. After a while, I got to one of the landmarks, a beautiful remote house on top of the mountain. I wish my cabin was up there. I tried to not record too much, as it felt too private, as if I was disrupting the tranquility of the homestead. At this point there was a wave of beauty evading all the environment, the path almost indistinguishable from the sides. All around me, a soft cloud of lush ochre greenery. There are some rooms, what used to be an even more remote home. I asked myself, how did they manage to bring the materials up there? And what a shame that after all those efforts, it was left behind. The path finally starts severely going downhill. Now I'm close to my destination. The sound of water keeps increasing, as if someone was filling it up. is my birthday. Some might find it odd to travel alone on that day. I think it makes it more special, more memorable. There's something ritualistic about getting away on special dates. Ironically, I gifted myself a day trip to Toulouse, one of the largest cities in France. Because getting away to a cabin is not all about the cabin. It's about freedom, time for oneself, choosing what matters to you, regardless of the opinions and sometimes oppositions of others. We know very well how we can be in a large city and still feel alone. Toulouse and its pastel-colored buildings turned out to be enchanting. It was very inspiring and enjoyable. The atmosphere was light, more similar to a town than a large city. I didn't have much time, so I was constantly on the move, seamlessly flowing from one landmark to another, distracted and present at the same time. Camera was glued to my hands, intuitively letting myself be absorbed by the streets, the colors, the shapes, the movement, the stillness, the serenity of sacred spaces, the solemnity of l'Hôpital de la Rave, the light playfully traversing the arches of Le Couvent des Jacobins. Les Toulousains going about their day alone, together. Friday had a surprise waiting. During the night, there was an eerie silence. The weightlessness of the flocks of snow sneakily layering every single hideaway, waiting to be crunched or melted. These past days were a blur. 5 days is not enough to settle in a new environment. It leaves you with the ghost of the images you saw and the feelings you had. There's also beauty in this. But you don't reach any breakthrough. There's no joyful glory, nor a decisive, life-changing thought. There's a slow burn brewing inside yourself, the busy chemical compounds simmering a yet-to-discover message ready to be unveiled. Thinking is a gift. Thoughts brought us to the abundance we currently live with. Anything in between us and our thoughts should be perceived as a threat. There's no bigger satisfaction than the fluidity of ideas, yet we are happy to give that away. And that is why you should go away